Hi everyone, I'm Keith Goodman and I'll be your instructor for this course, Introduction to Legal and Regulatory Oversight. In this training, we'll explore the basics of legal, regulatory, and procedural oversight for both public services and private industry. I'm looking forward to getting to know you over the next few weeks, but before we get started, I'd like to tell you a little bit about myself and provide a very basic description of what you can expect from this course. When I'm not teaching this course, I work as an instructional design specialist in the field of quality assurance and compliance auditing. Before working in compliance, I worked as a licensed professional counselor, providing counseling and therapy services to clients. In this role, I also supervised associate counselors and mental health technicians, and frequently found myself being asked to perform more administrative duties like managing operations, developing processes, and providing training. Eventually, I moved into a managerial position, which then led me to my career as a compliance specialist. I've now spent more than 15 years working in quality assurance and compliance for social services programs and agencies. In these roles, I've conducted countless quality assurance reviews and program audits to verify compliance with laws, regulations, and policies. I've also been responsible for taking the data that I collect and developing plans to implement change that addresses identified deficits. In some instances, there are recommendations for process improvements and safeguards to prevent fraud or waste. But in many instances, the solution is a training program to help people better understand how to do the right thing and why it's necessary. In my experience, the why is one of the biggest issues that people need help understanding. Most organizations operate under a complex web of rules that must be followed, and that's what this course is about. A lot of my experience has been working directly with state or federal government agencies, but the content of this course is applicable to anyone who works in a professional position in an industry that regularly deals with government oversight. Safe working conditions, fair hiring processes, environmental impacts, financial reporting, and personal data privacy, at least some of these topics are probably things that impact your organization, and that's why it's important to understand the topics that we'll be covering in this course. Over the next several weeks, we'll be defining and discussing laws, regulations, policies, and guidelines. One of the most important concepts that we'll cover is the hierarchy of authority, which requirements take precedence over others. We'll also look at the structure of how these rules are written, distinguish the difference between mandatory and flexible language, cover ethical considerations, and identify how to use appropriate language and citations when discussing and referencing these rules. By the end of this course, you'll have a basic understanding of the legal and functional frameworks that dictate how most organizations operate, giving you the confidence to work effectively within these rules. As I said earlier, I'm looking forward to working with you through this course and encourage each of you to ask questions through the group discussion channel, by direct message, or by phone. Thank you, and I'll see you again soon.